Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the ambassador of professional wrestling, Trevin Adams, joined by the voice of PWX, Brett Wolverton,
Hello.
as well as the excitable Dave Foster.
Hi.
And in the house here tonight, all hail the king. In 30 minutes, this is our pre-show, getting things hyped up before we get cooking in.
We do, and we've got two exciting matches coming up here on YouTube. I can't wait to get to the action. Guys, should we take it to the ring, you think?
Yeah, stop talking. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's waste no time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is singles action scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, weighing in at 205 pounds and hailing from Wick City, Florida, Troy Hollywood.
As Troy Hollywood makes his way to the ring once again, we are streaming here live the pre-show before Premier Wrestling Experience presents All Hail the King. It will stream live on pwxlive.com, just $4.99 a month. But what an opportunity to not just get a sample of what PWX is about, but how about PWX Pure?
This will be a great, I'm sorry, Brett, but this will be a great showcase for our Pure talent. Brett, Troy Hollywood, one of our up-and-comers in Pure, making an impact tonight.
Yeah, Troy Hollywood has competed here at Cabarrus some 5 years ago, or excuse me, in the city of Charlotte at a previous PWX event. First time back in 5 years.
And his opponent, weighing in at 155 pounds and hailing from Lexington, South Carolina, he is the warmest hands in the game, the X Factor, Xavier!
Indeed, Xavier getting his opportunity here in a PWX ring, but this has been a young man who's been a standout in Pure over the last few months. And how about at Battlefield X turning heads as well?
Yeah, some of the biggest eliminations at Battlefield X, eliminating the Premier Wrestling Experience Tag Team Champions in one moment, became one of my favorite wrestlers on the roster.
I was going to say, I bet you love that. Xavier, I have seen him perform about a dozen times this year, and every time he gets better, but he's going up against a 5-year veteran in Troy Hollywood. This might be his biggest test of the date.
But you're exactly right. So when you compare the tail of the tape, indeed, Troy Hollywood in that 5 to 6 year range. Well, how about Xavier? 5 to 6 months in the sport. So there's definitely a case here of a young man who's up and coming, so to speak. But to a point you made, Brett, well, when Troy Hollywood was at that point in his career, he got an opportunity in PWX. He got a taste. He wants more, and obviously he's looking at Xavier as the man standing in between that opportunity.
That's right, Troy Hollywood's first appearance at PWX, a 6-man tag that kicked off the show. It was a special bonus match at VIP Escapade, back in August of 2016. So he had that opportunity and was one of 6 guys in the opening bout. Tonight, it's one-on-one.
Absolutely. And speaking of multi-man situations, Xavier has really shined when it comes to being in multi-man freestyle. Ooh, what a Gamagiri catching Troy Hollywood situation. Some big wins for Xavier at both Pure 22, Pure 23. With drop kicks like that, this could be Xavier's night.
Xavier, obviously the high flyer, as you can see with some of his strikes, he gets a lot of air, defies gravity. He's going to need to use all of that to take Troy Hollywood down.
Yeah, and you see the reversal there by Hollywood charging in. But we've talked already about the athleticism, and what a kick there. Enziguri style coming out from Xavier, and could we be getting ready to fly, gentlemen?
Yeah, I would say the floor is not always the safest place to be.
Here we go.
Wow! And landed on his feet.
Yeah, 110%.
Softest feet in the game. How about it?
And when you look at the young man trained by Ethan Case here, looking darn good. And it's funny because you've seen Ethan Case fly like that before too. So
I don't know that I've seen him fly
not
like
like
that.
And frustration immediately here from the young Xavier, and definitely needs to stay on Troy Hollywood. Talking about trainers, of course, Troy Hollywood coming up under the tutelage of Jay Lethal. So from that perspective here, a bit of a different in fundamental, but how about the fact, too, that Hollywood, current Full Impact Pro, Florida Heritage Champion, has been winning gold all throughout the Southeast here. a loss to Alex Xavier, you got to think would make Alex Xavier look not just good in PWX, not just good in Pure, but throughout the sport.
This is undoubtedly Alex Xavier's biggest singles match to date. Free for us on YouTube. A lot of eyes on this match right now.
That's it right there. A lot of eyes as we see the cover. Alex Xavier able to get out. Eyes all over the world watching the show tonight. You know, this is what the world's watching right now.
No, 100%. Just the buzz in the air here as we prepare for All Hail the King. The mere fact, I'll give it to you, Dave. Talk about the main event.
Yeah, so I don't know if you know this, but a returning Anthony Henry versus, well, you may have heard of this person, Minoru Suzuki, the King. That's our main event. I cannot.
2 count only.
Oh, I cannot believe it. This has been, once again, PWX is the land of dream matches you didn't know that you wanted to see. And Anthony Henry versus Minoru Suzuki is a dream match that I never thought I wanted to see, but I have not stopped thinking about it since they announced this last month.
Oh, 100%. Anthony Henry, a former PWX World Heavyweight Champion. And Brett, you can talk to the history of Anthony Henry in this geography. But Henry said it himself, Minoru Suzuki, biggest match of his career.
That was the biggest surprise coming out of Battlefield X was the announcement of Suzuki, and then Amber Henry making her appearance to make it known Anthony Henry wanted Suzuki. He gets him here tonight at All Hail the King. And yes, Anthony Henry very decorated, just about everything you can in this area. Now one of his biggest opportunities against Suzuki in our main event.
Yeah, and you talk about New Japan. How about Robbie Eagles versus Lucky Ali? A battle of 2 champions in a non-title matchup. Big stakes for really both men, if you think about it.
I had the opportunity to speak with Eagles earlier this afternoon and got a look at that IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. That is a beautiful championship.
It's pretty.
Yeah, and in fact, had you been here, you could have met Robbie Eagles. You could have also met Minoru Suzuki. You could have met Lance Archer. You could have met Killer Kelly. That's one of the beautiful things about coming out here to PWX Live. I've got a few personal friends who chose to drive a few hours to make it to this building because it's a destination event. And I would dare say, if you're not here with us now, we appreciate you watching here on YouTube. You got to get to pwxlive.com. You got to be with us here for All Hail the King.
Yeah, these live events are your way to meet some of your favorites that you've seen on television and perhaps find a new favorite in the local talent that we have here.
Yeah, and right now, landing on his feet is Alex Xavier. And what elevation on the drop kick, taking down Hollywood. And could this be it for the young man? No.
The laws of gravity do not apply to Alex Xavier's offense.
Yeah, and just remember, Troy Hollywood pushed now PWX Pure Champion Shug D to the limit at Pure 22 in one heck of a matchup. Of course, our buddy Alex Xavier here getting tied up with Shug D back at Pure 24. And if you're wondering what we're talking about, you can check that out as part of your PWXLive.com subscription as Alex Xavier flies. But Troy Hollywood with a big boot, and that's the long limbs of Troy Hollywood. Snap German suplex.
Jeez.
The kind of offense you're used to seeing from a guy like Troy Hollywood. I've said it before. This is a guy who was once in the cruiserweight division in various promotions here in the sport. Running knee right there.
Wow.
He's always had the long limbs. He's got the agility. Hard to prepare for Troy Hollywood.
Absolutely, and when you're Alex Xavier, you're just building your moveset. You have a lot of high-flying maneuvers, but you need some defense here, and he's about to learn that the hard way. Here we go.
And the elbow drop, is that going to be enough? Put away the young man, pin. 2 count only here.
A beautiful and effective elbow. He didn't jump. Troy Hollywood did not jump for that elbow. He let gravity do the work. He's feeling it.
Exactly, and Troy Hollywood, if there's anybody who can call their shots, it's definitely Troy Hollywood, who's jaw-jacking here with the PWX faithful. Still coming into the building here at Cabarrus Arena.
Yeah, there's still a lineup at the door to get in.
Oh, yeah?
And Hollywood could be thinking Walk of Fame, but no. Alex Xavier fighting his way off of those shoulders. But how about that elbow? Catching the young man as well as the kick.
You have to think these kicks are going to start adding up. Alex Xavier has been taking a lot of shots to the face. Maybe not.
Great, Alex Xavier catching the boot there. And not just that, you can see Hollywood in trouble.
Oh, vicious knee to the side of the face.
Could have knocked Hollywood loopy. And the springboard into the heel kick. Beautiful offense from the young Alex Xavier.
Charges in, throws his body into Hollywood.
He started halfway across the ring.
Could this be it, guys? Pinfall. No, 2 count only, but impressive. You know, Alex Xavier, a former college athlete, a young man who got to give credit to how quick he's gotten good between Pure, between Palmetto Championship Wrestling. Xavier is a guy to have your eyes on, and could he cement the beginning of that career here in the Premier Wrestling Experience with a victory over Troy Hollywood right before All Hail the King?
I think he's looking for that now. Check this out.
And to the top, could this be it? No! Knees get up there, catching Xavier. Hollywood's not slowing down. Could be thinking pedigree. Hollywood style connects.
Will this be it?
I think so. Pinfall. Hollywood wins.
The winner of the match, Troy Hollywood.
The guys coming into this thing, it was my expectation. You saw youth versus experience, and there were so many times during this matchup where youth almost won, but in the end, Troy Hollywood showing experience won the day.
Troy Hollywood putting up his feet while Xavier was tumbling down on top of him was just the opening he needed. And Troy Hollywood hooked that 3 count very tightly. He did not want Xavier even having a chance of getting out. That is also the veteran instinct of Troy Hollywood. Xavier learned a lot in that ring just now with the minutes that he spent with Troy Hollywood.
Well, and think about it. If you're Troy Hollywood, you're looking at November the 13th, Pure 25. We return to Hebron Hall. You're coming in now with momentum from before one of the biggest shows of the year, maybe ever here in PWX. But listening to the ovation for Xavier, show of appreciation here from the PWX faithful. I'm telling you right now, this is a young man to keep your eyes on, and one of the best places to see him is Pure at Hebron Hall every month. And as Xavier makes his way to the back, we were talking about New Japan. We already talked about Robbie Eagles. We talked about Minoru Suzuki. How about Lance Archer facing JD Drake here tonight? It's going to be All Hail the King, PWXLive.com. I am hyped for that. Can you talk about hard hitting? Can you imagine what this place is going to sound like when those two start battling?
We have our Haas fight of the evening between JD Drake and Lance Archer. I'm here for it.
Yeah, and how about a tag match situation where you pick your partner, Chip Day winner Battlefield X, facing off against the PWX World Heavyweight Champion. I'll get it out, John Davis.
Yep.
I'm excited to see who both men pick. Hopefully it's not you, Dave Foster.
I'm ready.
You want to keep things rolling, Brett?
These microphones work a lot better when you turn them on.
Live television.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is singles action scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, weighing in at 202 pounds and hailing from Washington, D.C., he is the working team captain, Owen Knight.
Not a lot of guys can say that they are their own captain. Owen Knight is one of those few. A man who first debuted in PWX in 2014. Took him a long time to make his way back here. How about a guy now pushed Ethan Case at Expect Everything 2021 back in July to the limit, nearly defeating a former PWX World Heavyweight Champion. And you can see the intensity Owen Knight's coming into the building here.
He also pushed Savannah Evans to the limit in their Pure Championship match at Pure 22. This guy's ready.
I told the guy that was next for me, I'm just fulfilling my destiny. Fulfilling my destiny, yeah. I told the guy that was next for me, I'm just fulfilling my destiny. I told you I'm a psycho.
And his opponent, weighing in at 215 pounds and hailing from heights unreachable, Alexander Moss.
Young man making his return here to PWX. We last saw him at Expect Everything 2021 in July in a losing contest against Wheeler Yuta. But just the mere fact that Alexander Moss had Yuta multiple times in peril had an awesome showing against Yuta. Man is one of the top in the sport right now. Even in defeat, Moss coming in looking good. It's the same story like you said with Owen Knight. But tonight, only one of these two men can win this matchup. And you got to think, PWX officials watching closely, whoever wins this match, I get the feeling on October the 23rd, that's probably who you're going to see on the main card.
Both men having glimmers of greatness over the past few months for PWX and for Pure, but not really ascending to that level that they know they are capable of. This is their chance.
Are you saying heights unreachable, perhaps?
Heights they're looking for greatness, Brett.
Of course, when you talk about the difference in experience here, Moss about 4 years, Owen Knight about 8. It's interesting, this is the first time these two are ever facing off, despite the fact that they've really come up in semi-close geography between Georgia and the Carolinas. But of course tonight, it's high-stakes situation. You got to think eyes of the entire world are on PWX. Whether you're watching on YouTube right now or getting ready to join us at pwxlive.com.
And if you are familiar with the Carolinas, both these men are well-traveled. You would it's amazing that these two haven't met, but tonight, once again, a night of dream matches. This is what might be a sleeper.
A total disrespect there from Owen Knight.
Not into shaking hands as
Owen Knight does not play well with others. I know that from personal experience.
Yeah, no, and trust me, I understand the pressure. I understand coming in here, you've got a certain cockiness in your brain. You're not here for sportsmanship. You're here for victory, but at the end of the day, if you don't keep that level of sportsmanship enough that you get yourself disqualified, that's a loss. And that wrist right there, great escape though by Alexander Moss. This was definitely a matchup that I was incredibly excited to hear that we were getting to present as part of our YouTube pre-show. This is one of those kind of matchups that if you want a flavor of what PWX is like, guys, we're giving it to you right now for free. What a kick.
And the kick is good. Oh, maybe the kick is bad.
That made him mad.
Yeah, Moss got right back up in the face of Owen Knight. Things heat up a little bit here. And this is definitely not a situation, if you're just joining us, where these men came in with a giant issue. What a chop. These are two men, though, that are willing to put it on the line to get that opportunity. And that's really been Alexander Moss's 2021. Think about it, back to X16, the ref stoppage defeating Zach Cooper, getting everybody surprised, nearly beating Shook D for the Pure Championship back in February. Moss has been on the cusp so many times, and this crossbody might be it. Pinfall, 2 count only. But again, the frustration, you need the wins.
In the last few matches that we've seen Alexander Moss in at PWX, you have started to see a little bit more of an edge to him. He's starting to realize that maybe playing nice isn't necessarily the best thing to do. Maybe taking a few shortcuts could possibly help him. He needs to find the winning solution.
The spinning heel kick there. Catching Moss right now in control is Knight.
Oh, man.
What a way to rake the face with your boots.
With your boots.
That's just insulting.
That's dirt.
And the drop kick as well, rearranging the face of Alexander Moss. Owen Knight now looking phenomenal in this thing.
Looking great.
Foster, you're absolutely right. That is dirty. We have no idea what he may have stepped into.
Nope.
Right now, the intensity is not slowing down. Since originally offering that hand here and denying it, both men, both Alexander Moss, Owen Knight, these guys just going all at it.
I don't want it overlooked how badly chops to the back hurt. They send a tingle down your spine that does not feel pleasant. I know it's more of an insult to injury, but it is extremely painful. If you don't know, slap the person next to you on the back and see what they do.
Yeah, I don't know about
Oh, Brett, you're the best. I love you so much.
I don't know if I would normally recommend that, but you talk about chops. How about JD Drake, Lance Archer, later here tonight? All hail the king.
We may see some chops. We may see some red chests in that match.
Yeah, expectations, right? And of course, we already talked before, Robbie Eagles versus Lucky Ali. 2 champions, different promotions, not title here tonight. Part of All Hail the King, and ooh, to the back there. Knight continuing the onslaught here on Moss. And the pinfall, 2 count only. But again, it's pwxlive.com. It's the only way at 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be going live.
Yeah,
Second we're done here, we are
5 minutes
switching
away.
over.
We're getting close.
Oh,
I'm
man.
excited.
I think Alexander Moss is bleeding from the mouth, probably from one of those shots to the face.
Oh, yeah, right there. I'm not sure. Ooh, a stop as well here.
Could have cut his lip, could have bit his tongue. There's a million things it could be.
Yeah, it could be coming from the nose.
I was going to say, I do believe I see it dripping from his nose. but it is not stopping Moss.
Moss continuing to fight back here.
And maybe Moss will see that red as a sign to step up.
Yeah, and remember, both of these men have held championships all throughout. Like you said earlier, the Carolinas, throughout Georgia, somehow never touching, getting to do so here in the PWX ring on a night with huge stakes and a main event of Anthony Henry versus Minoru Suzuki. Just the atmosphere in this building,
yes,
the energy the entire day, and the intensity. I saw both athletes. Not going to lie, Suzuki had nothing to say to me. And fair enough, that man was absolute intensity, and I wasn't going any closer. But even Anthony Henry, other than just making the point about how it's really a match he's never felt so excited about in his career. You saw on social media constantly posting how many days left until the match and so forth. This is an Anthony Henry, prepared Anthony Henry like I've never seen, but great takedown there by Moss, maybe creating that separation finally to stop the onslaught of Owen Knight.
But Moss can't capitalize.
And that's the problem because of the beating here of Owen Knight to Alexander Moss.
You think all the kicks to the head, all the shots, the raking of the eyes with the boots, you have to think Alexander Moss has to have some type of vertigo right now.
The heel kick not only connects here, but taking Moss down to one knee. Lariat takes the head off of Owen Knight.
Explosive offense from Alexander Moss. Up he goes. Oh, brain buster. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Cover made.
This could be it. Not enough. How did Owen Knight manage to kick out after that brain buster?
We have seen Alexander Moss get this close so many times, guys. Just on commentary for PWX, he has not been able to hook that leg for a 3 count yet. And you have to think he's wondering, what does it take to beat Owen Knight?
And that's, I think, what everybody's wondering right now, as Owen Knight not only coming back, but dumping down Alexander Moss. And
oh! Right to the chin.
Beautiful kick. That could be the end of things. Pinfall. Oh. 2 count only, but man, you want to talk close. Official Kai Douglas there, just barely pulling that hand before the 3.
You have to think that kick to the chin with the already bloody face of Alexander Moss. Owen Knight smells blood in the water.
And right now, tossed into the ropes, springboard out. Knight showing that agility. Ooh, but there could be an injury here. See Knight now favoring that knee.
I think both of these men are pretty worse for wear right now.
And knees can pop out pretty easily when you land the wrong way. You can see right now, Owen Knight can't put any weight on that knee. And it's unfortunate to say this, guys, but we might be in a ref stoppage kind of situation here.
Moss is trying to check on Knight.
Owen Knight, to his credit, is getting up. Wait a sec.
Oh,
2, of course.
3 with the tights too.
The winner of the match, the working team captain, Owen Knight.
Trevin, I'm just not surprised. We should have seen that coming. Owen Knight makes a living off of taking shortcuts.
Ridiculous. You can see the bloodied face of Alexander Moss. What a matchup, and for Owen Knight to fake an injury and steal it.
He did what he had to do to win. And we were talking, who wants to win this match more? Who wants to impress PWX? Who wants to impress the people watching live on YouTube? Owen Knight answered that question tonight.
Yeah, and again, in mere moments, we are going to be live on PWXLive.com. You got to join us. All hail the king. PWXLive.com. Quick parting thoughts.
I can't wait to see who John Davis and Chip Day select as their tag team partners.
Anthony Henry, Minoru Suzuki. That is my parting thought.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you right now, I got good authority. We're going to kick off with Wheeler Yuta versus Sir Rios Badu, and it's a matchup I think is going to steal the show. A lot of people aren't going to see it coming, but if you go to PWXLive.com, you're going to see it coming, and if for whatever reason you got to catch it later, it will be video on demand as well. We'll also be returning October the 23rd. PWXPro.com for all those details, and of course, Pure 25 on November the 13th in Hebron Hall. But again, all hail the king. Anthony Henry, Minoru Suzuki, PWXLive.com. For Brett Wolverton, Dave Foster, I'm Trevin Adams. We hope you join us momentarily.